Naloxone is now readily available to people at risk of overdose for use by themselves, their families and friends. Naloxone can be obtained with a doctor's prescription or from a pharmacy without a script. In this video, we want to encourage health professionals to identify those at risk of overdose and advise them to carry naloxone.
The use of opioid-based medications in our community has increased drastically in recent years. Many of these drugs are very powerful painkillers, but few people realise just how risky and addictive they can be. Naloxone is a safe and effective antidote. It is very effective at reversing the potent respiratory depressive effects that can occur following an opioid overdose. There's ample evidence from various developed countries around the world that naloxone is safe and saves lives. There's no evidence that naloxone used in a community leads to increased rates of opioid misuse within that community. Naloxone is safe and saves lives.
I've come into contact with the naloxone program after undertaking rehabilitation in St Kilda. Was in the company of my brother, who was unfamiliar with heroin use, and I'd given him instructions if there was a problem. You know, I'd said, look, I'm about to use heroin, this is naloxone, this is how you use it, and I think I'll be alright, you know, full of confidence. And then I dropped. And often, if you're the one who needs it, you're not in a condition to put it in you, and you can have all the knowledge in the world, but you're dying. Like, this should really be a standard first aid protocol, I think.
Paramedics have been using naloxone to respond to opioid overdose emergencies since the 1980s. Calling 000 for an ambulance first is still important.
They should ring 000. Access the emergency services. That brings to bear all of the help that that person and whoever's calling might need. Then they should follow the action plan that they are given as part of their naloxone education program, which is basic first aid interventions around airway and breathing and circulation. And then, once they've got to the back end of that algorithm, it includes the option to use naloxone if they think it's appropriate. The ambulance service actively supports the use of community naloxone programs because they include not only the drug but also how to respond to emergencies in times of crisis. So we're about saving lives, and this is what this program is all about, saving lives.
And last year, 384 people died of opioid overdose and 246 on the roads. So it's quite a significant difference. The percentage that died of an opioid overdose is a lot higher than illicit drugs. And of the 384 that died last year, 315 were attributable to prescription opioids. It might be for the management of long-term chronic pain, or it might be the result of a car accident or a work-related accident that's required them to be on long-term pain medication. More often than not, with an opioid overdose, there's other drugs or alcohol involved, and it's the mixing of the drugs or having alcohol alongside those drugs that really increase the risk.
The naloxone mini-jet can be used to reverse an opioid overdose. It's very quick to assemble and really easy to use. It's just like an EpiPen actually that schools and hospitals carry in case someone has an allergic reaction to something like peanuts. With a little training, friends, family, community service staff can easily be trained firstly to identify when an overdose is occurring and then to administer naloxone. You never know when you might need it to save someone's life.
Victoria Police Senior Command is very strongly supportive of the use of naloxone by those where it is legitimately prescribed. The Victoria Police have been made aware of what the naloxone mini-jet looks like and are certainly made aware of its legitimate uses and are very supportive that it's used to save lives. Look, we want to reassure community members that may be concerned about ringing 000 or ringing an ambulance. Victoria Police rarely attends where someone has overdosed, and we would only attend should there be community safety issues or where there is a threat of violence.
Pennington Institute strongly supports and recommends the use of naloxone to save lives. COPE, or the Community Overdose Prevention and Education website has succinct and easy to understand instructions on what to do in the event of an overdose.
Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot. I owe you one.
That lay people can be educated to effectively and safely administer naloxone within the community.